Make sure you go to Orlando Weekly and nominate us for Best Local Podcast under the category Best Local Color. Please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, No New Friends Podcast. And now we're like worldwide now. We're in the United States, obviously. We've got listeners in Puerto Rico, Spain, India, and now Canada. So that's exciting. One of the listeners in India actually emailed me today and asked me if I was looking to extend my car warranty.
Oh my! I can't. You are the worst.
I am. You are the worst human in the world. All right, it's time for some strange news.
Good. Redeem yourself now.
So I've got a couple news stories. Most of them are in Florida. This first one is not. This first one's Poland. So this
that's not somewhere you hear a lot of things.
No, you don't hear a lot of stories from Poland, but you do hear a lot of jokes about the Polish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, come on. Just start
like in elementary school. So a woman called animal control because she had a beast of an animal, or what she thought was a beast of an animal, in a tree in her yard.
I know. I still can't. Continue. I'm sorry.
So Mary knows this story. That's why she's laughing. But it was not an animal. It was a croissant.
I literally will be moved to tears laughing about this, because this is something that could potentially happen to me. I could see this happening to me.
I know, right? There it is. There's the picture, and we'll put it on our Facebook page. There's a croissant in a tree. I want to know what kind of creature they thought it looked like.
I want to zoom in on it.
It looks like a giant cocoon. Like it looks like a giant cocoon. Like there's going to be a giant butterfly that comes out of there.
It looks like nothing. It looks like it looks like someone burnt a croissant and yeeted it out their window.
If you all want to see what we're talking about, this segment's going to be on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And what's funny is it wasn't just her. There were other people that
joined in the effort.
Like people don't open their windows because they're afraid it's going to enter their house.
Oh, it's funny.
He's been sitting out there for 2 days and everyone is scared of him.
Do you think the person who is responsible for the croissant is like, oh shit, I've caused so much problem.
Yeah, I want to know how this croissant got in there.
It looks like, because it doesn't look like it's cooked properly. Like it's a little overdone. So they probably were like, it's burnt, and threw it out the window, and then it got caught in the tree.
Yeah. So this inspector who calls himself an expert, he assumes it probably got stuck there when some other well-intentioned neighbor attempted to feed the birds in the area.
With a whole croissant?
Don't you I know, right? Don't you break it apart?
Pieces?
Yeah.
How big are the birds there?
I know, right? Well, I mean, you know how it is when you go to the beach or the theme parks and the seagull takes an entire hamburger. I mean, that's probably what happened.
Listen, I have been clapped by a seagull as a child, and he stole my French fries.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you when you're hungry. You're like an angry bird that swoops in and just...
I will swoop in. I will.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's a pretty funny story. I know you were really excited about that story.
I was. Here's why, though, just really quickly, because I've also mistaken something that is not an animal for an animal.
So I've mistaken things that are not food as food.
See, so you can understand. I was running one day, and I have terrible eyesight, and I saw what I thought was a dog, but upon closer inspection, it was like a pole thing for a water filtration system, just in the middle of an area. But from far away, it looked like a dog, and I was like, man, what is he doing alone? There's no owner here.
Yeah.
And so I, speed up, and then I was like, well, Mary, you're an idiot. Just keep running. Don't tell anyone of this story.
That's like, have you ever seen Adventures in Babysitting, that 80s movie with Elizabeth Shue? And
I remember it, but I don't remember much of it. I've seen it, but only once or twice.
Her best friend's played by Penelope Ann Miller, and she's she's stranded at like a bus station or whatever, and she picks up what she thinks is a dog, but it's actually a sewer rat because she lost her glasses.
That is exactly what would happen to me.
In other strange news, we're going to stay with animals. This is in Daytona Beach, Florida. A passenger survives being hit in the head by a flying turtle. Like, I want to imagine driving down the road and they're street racing, because we have a big street racing problem in Florida, and someone throws a green turtle shell out the back.
It's like, what is this, Mario Kart? Is that what's happening?
That's what the picture that I have in my head. The article says it's not unusual for rocks and other debris to come crashing through a windshield and injure a driver or passenger. But a turtle? 70-year-old woman was riding with her daughter on Florida's Interstate 95, suffered a gashed forehead Wednesday when a turtle smashed through the windshield of their car, striking her, the Daytona Beach News Journal reports. The daughter pulled over and got help from another motorist, according to 911 recording. Both were surprised by what they found. "There's a turtle in the car," the man could be overheard saying. "A turtle!" the daughter exclaimed. "An actual turtle." The gash did draw a lot of blood, but the woman was not seriously hurt. Likely the turtle was crossing the interstate and got knocked into the air by another vehicle. Good news, the turtle just had a few scratches and was released in the nearby woods, Port Orange police officer informed us.
Can you imagine that phone call to like the family? Like, Grammy's in the hospital. What happened? She got hit in the freaking face by a turtle. What do you mean? Like, how do you explain that one? Oh,
what are the odds? To get hit by anything. Well, we all get our like little stones on our windshield.
Well, but to crash through your windshield,
right? To have something that major happen, right? Exactly.
Oh, Grammy, it was your time to go, and you evaded death.
Yep.
Good for you.
Only in Florida. Staying in Florida, this is in Southwest Ranches, Florida.
Where's that?
I don't know.
Somewhere in the Southwest area?
I don't know. So, Courtney Wilson and Shanita Jones, they were getting married. They invited all their family and friends to their dream home and estate for their weekend wedding celebration. The ceremony Saturday and brunch on Sunday.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to go. It was a 16,000 square foot home. There's just one problem. The couple didn't own the home and didn't have permission to use it. So they were wedding crashers at their own wedding.
Wait, whoa, what? So did the owners
this Fort Lauderdale estate had everything: a bowling alley, swimming pool, waterfall, hot tub, tennis courts, a gazebo, and 800-foot bar. Wilson said it was God's plan that the couple marry there.
Okay, just keep going.
Despite what the invitation inferred, the actual owner, Nathan Finkel, which must be Ray Finkel's nephew.
I was going to say, there must be a relation there.
And is also Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Finkel
is Einhorn. And then the crying game, because he realized he made out with Einhorn. He was stunned when Wilson showed up Saturday morning to set up, and he called the police. "I've got people trespassing on my property," Finkel told a 911 dispatcher, "and they keep harassing me, calling me. They say they're having a wedding here, and it's God's message. I don't know what's going on. All I want is for it to stop. And they're sitting on my property at the front gate right now." Two officers told Wilson he would have to leave. He did, and no charges were filed. "I don't want to talk about it," Wilson told the paper. That's like a teenage girl who gets in trouble. "I don't want to talk about it."
I know those lines very well.
Right.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
So did they secure like a catering company and things like that? And those people are like en route to go set up?
I would
just
assume
kidding. We don't have a venue.
I would assume.
But also, how did they figure out it was God's?
They thought it was a vacant property. They thought it was a vacant property because Nathan Finkel lived at another property.
But how does that still equate to God's will if it's a vacant property?
They did try to ask him for permission
While they were setting up, like while the band was like getting set up.
A couple months earlier, and he said no, but they sent out the wedding invitations anyway.
Wait, so they didn't think it was fake. Oh, sorry, Waffles is mad at me.
Yeah,
that was her. She wants to play fetch, and I don't want to.
Gotcha. Yeah, they sent out the wedding invitations that this was going to be on this property. Finkel, whose late father was an early IHOP restaurant franchisee, has been trying to sell the property for 2 years now, listing it for just over $5 million.
Well, they could have just paid for the house.
Yes, because
comes to fruition.
You're right. If it's God's will, they'll come up with the $5 million.
I'm sure that mortgage is very reasonable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they're a 2-income household now. I mean, it'll be fine.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
What else do you have? Anything else?
No, that's it. That's it for strange news today.
I have a little bit of strangeness.
Let's go for it.
Would you like to hear an update on Carline Chronicles?
Yes, let's hear it. Carline Chronicles.
Let's talk about it. Okay, friends. I actually FaceTimed Scott yesterday about this because I was in such shock. Carline has been dry. I mean dry the past couple of days. I would say almost weeks.
Yeah, Mary had to use
now
lotion.
Now I know why. It was because it was all building up for what happened.
It was backed up.
The Carline gods were just waiting to bless me. And I won't say what school this was at. And I don't know why. Maybe I just want to, I don't know. So I pull in and I thought I saw police lights. It's like, no, that can't be right. And I make the turn and there is a car in Carline with 2 cop cars behind it with their lights on. And so they both are like walking up to the window. And so at this point, I pull up my phone and I'm FaceTiming Scott, but trying to make it not look like I'm aiming the phone that way because one, you're at a school and you should not be taking pictures of other people without their permission. And I didn't want to be the creepy person.
On the other hand, on CNN the other day, after the Derek Chauvin verdict came out, I don't know if it was President Joe Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris said, when you see a police officer pull someone over, pull out your cell phone and record. Well, so you were doing your civic duty by recording. I was doing
my civic duty by being a gossipy woman. And I'm like I'm like, okay, they're walking to the car, but one's walking away. What's happening? And so I end the call and I was like, well, that was kind of anticlimactic, but then it got good. They escorted the car out of Carline. Like they had them drive through the grass to exit Carline. So one, what the hell did they do?
They probably just cut in line. They just cut in line and some Karen called it in.
They would not. No, and you can't cut in this you can't cut in this line. But also, who picked up the kid? Like, is the kid still waiting? Like, Mom, you didn't show up. And like, Mommy had to go away for a little bit.
It was probably stranger danger. Someone got a tip.
It was like, yeah, well, and then I was thinking maybe it was like a parent that wasn't supposed to pick up a kid, trying to.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's from a divorce
situation.
A domestic situation where one parent didn't have permission to pick up the child from school for whatever reason. It happens, and the other parent called it in.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or maybe because there's a school resource officer and then there's usually like a cop parked outside. Maybe they knew that they had a warrant and they've been like watching it. Right.
Maybe, yeah.
And then they saw him and they just swooped in.
Or maybe they were smoking weed in the car.
That's okay. Right. I don't know.
Were you just going to say it wasn't 420? Because people can smoke weed like any day of the year. It doesn't just have to be on 420.
No, I that's what I'm saying. Also, like people have like medical marijuana cards. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to drive while you're doing that though. I don't know the rules.
So. And yeah, no, I don't.
So I don't know. I don't think that was the case though. I'm going to say I want it to be more exciting.
Okay.
They had a warrant for multiple felonies, I think.
But
so that's Carline
Chronicles. If they had
Chronicles.
a warrant, wouldn't they pull them out of the car and put them in cuffs? Because they're not going to.
Why would they do that in front of a bunch of kids? School was still technically going, and like there was kids on the playground, like right next to Carline. So I don't know. Are they going to go pull your mom out of the car and beat her down with a baton
I don't know. I don't know.
in
I don't
front
know.
of little Jimmy? You're like, Mommy,
All
not
right, well,
again. No, I'm
that
just
was
kidding.
Carla.